Hello, welcome to a new video of Dynasty War. In this new series, I will start to talk about which buildings to upgrade first. So there are many different types of building in this game. As you can see here in the first construct, you have all your resource buildings, your storage, and your generators. And then the army have buildings that allow you to improve your offensive power. And then the defense, which probably has the most buildings in them, and this allows you to build defensive structures. Now, since there are so many different buildings, so many different types of buildings in this game, I will break this series into multiple videos. And this first video, we'll talk about the most important type of building. And you should always prioritize this. And they are the resource building, the storage, and the generators. So these are all upgraded to the max level for headquarter level 10. I recently upgraded to level 11, and that is why I could now upgrade these further. But you should always upgrade your storage to max, always, because without maxing them, you cannot have enough, you can have enough space to save up enough resource to upgrade anything. For example, upgrading from level 10 to level 11, it requires you, I think, 12 million gold. But if you do not max out all your vaults, you will not have that storage to be able to hold that gold. And if you try to upgrade it with ingots, you will basically pay extra ingots, because paying ingots to finish a construction or paying ingots to pay the initial cost for the building to upgrade it or to build it is always a poor deal. You can tell by checking the amount that you need and the amount that they ask, the amount of ingots that they ask you for, compare it to the resource right here. Obviously, the more resource you buy, the cheaper, the better the deal is. You get more resource per ingot. So you should always, if you really need to buy resources from with ingots, you should always look at here and try to get the best deal. On top of that, the bigger question is, should you always upgrade your headquarter to the next level? Should you try to max it out first? Is that the priority? And I don't think that is a good idea, because as you can see, if you just do that, you will have all these underlevel structures and buildings that does not benefit you anyway. You get to build a lot of maybe stronger defensive structure where you can upgrade them to a higher level, but still your base in general will be weaker. So I don't think you should do that. You should upgrade them evenly. Most of your buildings should be upgraded evenly, and I'll talk about that in more detail in later videos. But this one, why should we upgrade the resource building? So I just talk about why storage, because you need to have the space to save enough resource, no matter if it's gold or grains, to upgrade your stuff. Now, the other one is the exotic cabinet. This comes in, I think, headquarter level 8, so this might be a little bit more difficult to upgrade it to the max. And you don't actually need to upgrade it to the max because you don't need it to build anything. So it's okay to keep it at a lower level. If you only need beats to level up your 7-star skill, then level 1 will be enough. However, if you're planning to awaken a 7-star hero, you should upgrade it to at least level 5, because as you can see, awakening a 7-star hero requires 150,000 beats. So as I mentioned earlier, if you just try to finish that awakening with ingots, you're getting a very poor deal. So with at least 150,000 beats, you could come to here, to the resource, and just buy the maximum, and you get a much better deal per ingot. So that is the only reason why you would upgrade your exotic cabinet. And obviously the gem workshop, you can upgrade it as soon as possible, but they cost a lot at a higher level. So just, these are not as important because you only use them to level up skills. And it is sufficient to just raid and loot them. However, the grains and coins, you have them since the beginning of the game. So the earlier you upgrade them to the max in long term, you have a much better deal. The later you upgrade it, you're just losing your profit over a certain period of time. And earlier, you may be able to sustain your stuff, sustain your upgrade just by looting and raiding. But at a later point, when most of your building costs a couple millions, you really want these to help you generate your resources, especially if you can go to your alliance and learn tech. The first two tech allows you to get more from these generators. So these should always be your primary focus as well in terms of learning tech. Obviously, after that, once you unlock the carved jade, this should be the primary resource where you should put into here, and I will upgrade this right now because these allow you to get more resource per generator for a certain percentage, and again in the long term you get more resources, and that is why you should do this as early as possible. So the main reason for upgrading all these resources building first is because you need to have a lot of resource to continue upgrading. So you don't want to be lacking behind in these resource generating building when you have other things to upgrade at a later time. And they usually cost pretty cheap and they don't take a lot of time to upgrade. Even the last one here is only 6 days. So you can pretty much get all of them to max level at a very early stage, and you will just get more profit because you invest in it earlier. So this is it for resources building, and the next video I'll start talking about the armies. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.